The Kansas City Chiefs kicked off their 2022 training camp and the rookies reported this weekend, and we're going to discuss some of the post interviews they've had after training camp this weekend and also some of the key contributors thus far into the 2022 training camps for the rookies. But before we do dive into that, please be sure to subscribe to the channel and like this video, as I'm going to keep you up to date on anything Kansas City Chief related throughout the season that you do not want to miss out on. Without further ado, let's jump into the start of this rookie training camp. Even though the Kansas City Chiefs vets haven't reported to camp yet, of course the biggest name of the vets, Orlando Brown Jr., is still on the headlines for the Kansas City Chiefs and what the Kansas City Chiefs might do if he tends to hold out and if he holds out throughout the regular season. And of course, the media asked Andy Reid that specific question, and Andy Reid responded to the lights of, it's job as usual. We are going to keep moving on. If he's here, great. If he's not, oh well, we'll keep moving forward. And that is what I mentioned in my previous video when Orlando Brown Jr. did not sign the extension. But one thing I did not mention, which Andy Reid caught the lights of everyone around the media, was he mentioned someone who could fill in for Orlando Brown if he tends to hold out and if that holdout tends to go into the regular season. And a key name he mentioned was Joe Thuney. Now, we have seen the lights of Joe Thuney, and it was last year, and he filled in very, very well, and Chiefs Kingdom would love that replacement in as a fill-in. Also, too, what we have to kind of monitor is that something Joe Thuney wants to do? Now, if Joe Thuney doesn't want to be a left tackle and he just wants to be the left guard, I kind of think you don't mess with that and you bring in a veteran. We mentioned an Eric Fisher, maybe a Jason Peters, one of those older guys to fill in for a season, and you kind of address that next year going into free agency. If you want to bring in Orlando Brown again, or if you want to move on, if you want to address it in draft, you know how it goes if you're a huge fan of the NFL. But also, too, let's say Joe Thuney is perfect with that. Then what do you do with left guard? Nick Allegretti would be your first one to step right in, and honestly, I'm a big fan of Nick Allegretti. He is a bulldozer. He is a dog. I think he needs his time to shine, and if Orlando Brown happens to hold out, this would fit perfectly for Nick Allegretti, because Joe Thuney would step in at left tackle, and then Nick Allegretti would step in at left guard, and then of course you got the whole right side shirt besides that right tackle position, which is going to be position value of basically competition between Lucas Niang and then Darian Kennard. We got center locked down, and we got Trey Smith locked in at the right guard. It's unfortunate that left tackle is a question of need right now, definitely when we don't know what Orlando Brown will do. It was also brought into question by Patrick Mahomes too, whether he thought that Orlando Brown would come in, and how unfortunate he thought that that deal wasn't be able to sign with an extension. Of course, he did find it unfortunate, but also too, he gave us kind of a light in the situation, saying even though he's not here at the moment, which he doesn't have to be here until, I think Chiefs vets don't come in until Wednesday, I want to say. I'll put the correct timing there. But also too, he doesn't have to show up until he signs that tender, and he doesn't have to sign it until week 1, so he can miss all training camp and still not be fined. So it wouldn't surprise me if he misses training camp. But as Mahomes did mention, is they're still in communication via text, via phone calls. He's asking him about different plays, different scheming, different positional things that go on the line. So with that too, with everything that Mahomes mentioned, I still don't see Orlando Brown holding out, and I don't think it's the smartest thing to do if he does hold out. We mentioned before on this channel that if he holds out, he's jeopardizing $1 million per game. That's huge money, specifically for Orlando Brown, who only has made $3 million in his NFL career. I don't think that's the type of money he can lose, but it will be interesting to see. But it's interesting to hear inside Andy Reid's mind saying, hey, we can move Joe Thuney and he can excel in that position. He did excel in one game. In college, he played 8 starts, and he did fairly well too. But the longevity of an NFL career, NFL season at left tackle begs to differ to see how it will go. I'm not doubting Joe Thuney whatsoever. He is a beast as well. He played for us when he had a broken hand and didn't miss a snap. He's a guy that likes to be out there, and he likes to show out. So if Joe Thuney was the answer at left tackle for us, I wouldn't be mad at it, because I'm pretty sure he would show out for us. But it's going to be interesting to see as long as this training camp progresses on if Orlando Brown shows up or how KC fills that position if he is not there. Now, as we got our Friday's media portion behind us, Saturday is when they hit the field, and we got to see what these rookies were all about. And one rookie that stood out on defensive side of the ball none other than Trent McDuffie. He had a pass breakup. He looked very solid in coverage. But that's not the one I'm going to focus on the most. It's not even a rookie I'm going to focus on the most. It's my guy, Jody Fortson. You guys know I be raving about Jody Fortson on this channel. As much as all of us want to find a wide receiver that's going to replace Tyreek Hill, if Jody Fortson is fully healthy, he's going to be a problem. And I know it takes a lot to recover off a torn Achilles, but Andy Reid even mentioned that he looks like full speed. He looks clean. He looks like he's never even really been injured. Now, he didn't say that verbatim, but that's the kind of words I'm going to take from it. And definitely hearing that he caught 3 touchdown passes and he's basically giving it to these rookies right now, that's exciting to see, because back in the day, torn Achilles was basically almost a career-ending thing, and a lot of players did not know how to recover from it, even when they were going to continue their career in the NFL, and they were just not the same type of player. So to hear that Jody Fortson is still trending upwards after an injury like that is positive news that you love to hear. And like I said, KC can run a 2 tight end set if they don't really believe in the wide receiving core that they have, but I do believe that they do believe in their core. But they got so many weapons, and you can't sleep on Jody Fortson whatsoever. And he was our star standout on Saturday, and also he had a touchdown on Sunday. And speaking of Sunday, which of course is today, we had some stars kind of show up as well on the rookie side of the ball, on the defensive side of the ball too. Leo Chanel, people jumped on him early because on Saturday he left early because he let the heat get to him, and he didn't kind of like a Traylon Burke situation. Coach just said, hey, take it easy, don't overdo it yourself, we don't need you passing out here. So he left early, and of course media got to him, be like, oh, is he ready for this? The rookie, the heat gets to him, kind of like how they did Traylon Burks. But he answered back in a big way on Sunday, came back with a pass breakup, an interception, made his presence known. And people who are thinking Leo Chanel is out of shape, he's not. And let's be real. You've seen his highlight tapes. You've seen him on draft. He's probably our biggest linebacker. He's our most physical linebacker. He is a huge stud. He's going to be a difference maker on this defense. So to say he's out of shape, that's not the case. It's these summer heats can get the best of you, whether you're in a dry heat or you're in a humidity state. It's going to kick your ass, and it just happened to get the best of him day one. It's good to see that he bounced back and he had a great recovery. Now let's jump on the offensive side of the ball. Not a rookie, but a rookie last year who we had high hopes on, and then it kind of went on a downward, not spiral, but quiet. Let's put it at that, because we thought Cornell Powell was going to be something, and he struggled to make the practice squad. Today, he caught every pass that came his way. He looked very sharp. He caught hard, difficult passes, and he caught the passes he should have caught too, and he made it look easy. That is something positive to hear. Definitely in a crowded wide receiver room, he knows he's going to have to fight for his spot, and it's going to be interesting to see. Now that we heard that Justin Ross is placed on the physically unable to perform list right now, we don't know how that will go throughout August in the preseason, but I'm making my money that they're going to be able to have him as an IR stash. So Justin Ross is going to be on this team, but he's going to be on IR. That leaves that last position between Powell, Watson, Corey Coleman. They're all going to be fighting for that. And Powell seems like he's got that early head start in this rookie camp. We're going to see what happens when these vets come in, because Watson's been a name to watch out for. We haven't heard much about Coleman, but it's going to be interesting to see if he can resurge his NFL career with the Kansas City Chiefs. But Powell's trying to let everyone know, yeah, you remember when you were talking about me having those high hopes? He's trying to bring them back, and it's going to be exciting to see. This is a crowded wide receiver room, and if he can make this team as that last receiver on the list, it's going to be surprising, because I was counting him out and pushing him towards a practice squad, but he's been putting in that work, and I'm rooting for the guy, because I was one of those guys that was hoping he was going to be impact last year. And if you can make the team this year, that's saying a lot with this wide receiver room. But I'm going to check out with you guys, and I'll stay tuned throughout training camp and give you all these updates that you guys do not want to miss out on. So you guys don't miss out on it. Please be sure to subscribe to the channel. Like this video if you liked all the Chiefs updates I kept you guys in tune with. I'm checking out. I'll check back in with you guys soon. Take care.